it's very nice if you interview the CTO, then you also have the possibility to get access behind the scenes with the data, with Warren. Can I make some movies as well? Yeah, that's a nice thing of having friends.
Everything okay with you?
I'm very well. So we had the Engineering Performance Hub. Can you show me around?
I can't, but Alex can.
Perfect. Thanks a lot.
Alex is the director of performance engineering.
Perfect. Thanks Warren. Hi, Alex. Yep.
Nice to meet you.
Hi, good to meet you as well. I just have a microphone.
Yeah, sure.
A little bit of camera, so I'll try to guide a little bit. It's a little bit primitive, but it works
cool.
very well. It's a 360 camera, so we can give a full view. I'm really curious. So, what kind of data do you collect? What's real time? What's video data? What's, let's say, IoT sensor data? Show me around.
Yeah, so in here, this is the Performance Engineering Hub, where we get tons of data. All types of data come into here. We get performance data, so we know how fast the boat is going. We've got a couple of data analysts here, a couple in the cloud, and they work with the teams. We get engineering data here, so we've got some systems engineers who look after the boat. So when you look under the hood on the boat, there's a lot of hydraulics, electronics. It's all fly-by-wire, apart from the steering and the two grinders at the front. So there's a lot of engineering that goes on here to make sure that the boat continues to work at its optimum. Any issues, we're working with the teams on the water to get the boat going again.
So there's dozens of cameras on each boat?
So up here we've got we basically intercept the feed from broadcast, so we've got a camera at the front and back. There's also cameras for the helicopter, and we actually have some cameras on the race marks, so they'll come online later. But yeah, we use the cameras with the data to help figure out what's going on when there's issues, all related to performance.
And the great thing is everybody has access to this camera feed, so they can decide how to use it, how to analyze it, what competitors are doing.
Exactly, there's nowhere to hide really, so everybody can see everybody else's data. There's all the video, all the audio. They spend hours listening to each other's audio and watching the video. And yeah, it's all purely down to the athletes. The boats are exactly the same, so there's nowhere to hide.
And talking about the IoT data, what kind of data are you collecting? How are you sharing it? How are you analyzing it? So you said you have some data analyst over here. This is the SailGP team over here.
It is. Yeah.
It's not, let's say, a specific team, but you share this data. You collect it and share it.
That's right. So all the data goes to the Oracle Cloud in London, and we basically have an interface there that everybody connects to and pulls the data from. In terms of the types of data, there's a lot of moving parts on the boat. So the wing moves, the foil moves, and that's all hydraulic. So there's a lot of engineering data coming from there, but we're also interested in terms of speeds, the shape of the wing, how the teams have set the boat up. So the software is the same on every boat, but we provide a safe envelope for the teams to work in, so they can tune the boat differently, and they set the boat up differently every day. So the teams at the front are probably a bit better at setting it up for the conditions that we're going to be in today. But that allows the newbies to take some inspiration or sometimes directly copy what the teams at the front will do.
And you are facilitating it, and the teams are using the data. Or do you use the data as well for analysis and for insights and for live broadcasts?
Yeah, so we write our own kind of general performance reports. So, but we give to the teams. So we're a kind of neutral party. So we're not biased in any way. But our kind of general view is to help improve the teams. We work with teams individually. So teams can come in and speak to us, and we'll help them if they've had a bad day, if they had an issue. Or in between events, we can do studies for them. So a team might come to us, we'll do a study, and then we won't share that information with everybody else, we'll just go to that team.
And what's the new type of innovation that you have this year? So I know there's the autonomous race marks, if I need to pronounce it correctly. Can you explain how these work and how do you use them and how do you collect data from them?
Yeah, so the autonomous race mark project was a great fun project to work on. So we developed that from scratch in-house. So there's the race mark basically has two engines. It's got a GPS gyro, and it's got a processor on there. And the unit race management basically create the race course. The race course goes via telemetry to the race mark, and then the race mark knows where the waypoints are, and it drives to those target positions, and then it maintains where it should be, which allows race management to make quick course changes and keep the racing nice and sharp. But our current development on the race marks is an autonomous camera. So we've got all the marks, we've got cameras on there. So as it's all data driven, we know where the boats are, and the cameras basically we can tell them to follow specific boats or look, when two boats are crossing. But there's also logic if a boat has got heeling a lot, then all the cameras will jump to that to try and capture that moment.
And in what other ways do you use AI? So you have the autonomous race marks. Are there other ways how you use AI and take actions with the data already?
Yeah, so from a performance standpoint, we're using AI a lot in terms of modeling the performance of the boat. For tracking the crew on the boat, they use AI as well. But we also do kind of many other things such as anomaly detection. So with the data that we get, there's there's thousands of channels, billions of data points that the team here can't physically look through it. So we have anomaly detection routines that comb through the data, and we get a brief summary at the end of every day for what to look for. So when you look at the 12 boats, they've each got 125 sensors on, probably about 75 hydraulic valves on. There's so many components that that when you turn them on every day, there's going to be an issue on one of them, and picking those up early is really key.
And can you share some insights from anomalies what you're checking?
Yeah, so at this event we've probably had a couple of pressure sensors that have failed or are about to fail, and they were picked up by the anomaly detection, and then we basically knew once that routine had run, what had become noisy, and went and spot the sensor before it became an issue. And those were quite critical sensors, so that are linked to the hydraulic pumps on the boat, and if they would fail, then the boat would stop. And in a race scenario, that's critical.
Yeah, and I was talking to Warren yesterday where you used the data for the foils. Initially you had one side foil, now you have two side foils, and it's improvement of performance of 20% if I'm right.
It is.
Can you explain how you use the data for this new improvement?
Yeah, so we also use the data is not just for the boat. So we did a big development with the T-foils. So we also look after the simulator project. So we've got a simulator next door, which is basically driven with a physics model, and we tie the data that we collect on the water with a physics model, and that allows us to, once the physics model is validated, we explore parameters, scenarios, test matrices within that simulator or physics model, and then that helps drive the development on the water.
And all the data you collect through 5G Advanced Network Solutions. So how would you describe the difference between having this data through 5G or not?
Yeah, so we have multiple routes off the boat, but we can always see that the 5G route is the quickest. We measure the latency. Latency is very important for us from a broadcast perspective, and also from engineering. If we have issues with latency or jitter, you start, the graphics and the data don't line up from what you see on the TV. But also, we're desperate to get the information as quickly as possible. And yeah, the 5G is always the best.
A real differentiator for the sports and for the fan experience, I think, as well.
100%, yeah.
Thanks a lot.
Cool.
So it's really, really exciting to be in behind the scenes and get a sneak peek. Thanks a lot.
No worries.
Thank
you. Cheers.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right, very nice. Thank you.
Cool.